my CIO friends. Thank you very much for this honor. Firstly, congratulations on this 4th anniversary of the CIO Club event. We are very proud to have been associated ever since this whole event, this association was formed. And this is our 4th edition as the knowledge partner, and we've done this survey year on year with your support, and it's only grown every year. Before we begin, I think something in context with the defense sector. If you realize, all of us are sitting here and talking about cloud or internet technologies because internet was a direct byproduct of a defense project in 1973 by the ARPA, or Advanced Research Projects Agency of the US. So the idea was that in the event of a nuclear attack, how do we ensure that communications continue to happen from city A to city B, so that if some city in the middle, where if it's attacked by a nuclear attack, the communication continues. And if you look at how IP is structured, the packets transmit from city A to city B. It can take any route, right? It comes to the other side, it assembles again, and you see your message, or you see your video, or you see your email, and that's a direct result of a defense project. So we as IT professionals are directly impacted by a byproduct of the defense industry. GPS is another example, again a defense byproduct. Anyway, let's move on to the survey results. The agenda for today's discussion is talking about the top 5 priorities for CIOs, quick survey insights. Okay, so let's understand what was this objective of this survey. The objective has been to understand key priorities of CIOs in FY 2012, 2013, and 13, and understand key technology investment trends that CIOs are looking for or looking towards in the next year. Across 17 industry verticals, close to 184 organizations participated in this survey. And you will see that manufacturing, banking, financial services, automotive, pharma, life sciences, technology were probably the top 5 contributors as the survey respondents. Unfortunately, you might notice that telecom is conspicuously absent in that survey. Let's look at the last 4 years. We've been associated with you in for the last 4 years on this survey, and let's capture the GDP growth rates by quarter, or we could have even plotted the Nifty or the BSE Sensex here, and you will realize that the core theme which emerged in every year that we conducted the survey is directly related to the market sentiment at that point of time. For example, right in the first survey, the whole emphasis was on reduction of costs and optimization. This was when the debacle of 2008-9 had happened. Thereafter, the next year, when margins tremendously improved by most organizations because of the cost reductions that actually happened, see what was, look at where the GDP growth rates were, look at where the stock exchange was, and you will see that gearing up for growth was, by improving efficiencies, was the theme. Thereafter, when the margins really started improving, organizations started relaxing their purse strings, and that's where they said, let's invest in IT. And guess what we are thinking today? What's the market sentiment outside? It's optimistic, but there is a heavy dose of caution which has been injected, right? We don't know whether the double dip recession will happen. We don't know whether the India's growth rate, the growth story, or the India shining story is still existing. We are looking at 6% growth. Will we get back to a 7, 8, 9% growth, or will we continue to languish at this number? So there is cautious optimism which we noted in the sentiment that you all shared. So we're looking at a lean, agile, and resilient IT, at the same time being effective in delivering our business goals. This is the theme that has come about in this year's survey. So what were the top 5 priorities of this year? Very interestingly, the topmost priority that you guys have indicated is actually business continuity, and we were thoroughly surprised. Because it's been there in the top five. Last year it figured as number two. It was not there earlier, but we figured that more than 48% of respondents actually said this is our number one priority. And we diced it by sector, we diced it by industry segments, and we figured that it's not just financial services, which we conventionally think of as business continuity being our topmost priority. Even sectors like, say, automotive, have looked at this segment and said this is important. Now, this has origins in the Thailand floods. This has origins in the Japan earthquake. This has origins in the tsunamis. And the labor strikes, for different segments. The number two priority that we saw was cost reduction. This is a new, or a priority which has emerged. It was not there last year. As you clearly saw, last year was a year for investing in IT. This year, cost reduction is back on the table. The third one is improving IT function effectiveness. More than 42% of you said that improving IT function effectiveness, delivering back results to IT is an important priority for you all. And again, this is back on the table. This was not there last year. This is a new initiative which is back on the table. The fourth, my counterpart from IBM did mention about analytics, and that's validated by most of you, where you're saying that number 4 priority for you is implementing business analytics or business intelligence or enterprise intelligence, meaningful contextual information that comes which is actionable to take decisions. And number 5, this has slipped from number 3 to maybe number 5. This is information security. Around 33% believe that this is, one of the, that's a typo here, but the information security is one of the important criteria out here. Apart from these 5, we did a little more slicing and dicing, and we figured that certain industries are sensitive to a little more than just these 5. For example, the financial services, banking and financial services segment said that mobile computing is something that we're going to focus on. And this is very interesting, and you realize this has roots in the mobile money, which has recently been opened up by RBI last year, and banks are tying up with telecom organizations to offer the likes of Airtel Money, where you can transfer money from person A to person B through your mobile phone. And if you look at the penetration of mobile, which is close to 800 million subscribers in India, there is no better method to reach banking to the last person in India, and providing banking at fingertips to that individual, because he's carrying that smart device with him, and just by mere transfer of an SMS, you can start transferring money. This is a key priority for the financial services industry. Infra segment is saying that cloud is something that you want to focus on. The pharma and life sciences says, they still have, they believe that regulatory compliance is one of their top initiatives. Now, this is quite in line with what we see globally. The health sciences industry is heavily regulated with 21 CFR Part 11, the good manufacturing practices, the good laboratory practices, the GXPs as they are called. The technology sector is talking about consolidation of their IT, so ensuring that they get, they've done a lot of investments. They are in a steady state kind of a mode. So consolidating IT is topmost priority for them. Interestingly, it seems that when recessionary times come, the software vendors resort to software compliance audits. And so some of the manufacturing organizations are actually saying that software compliance audits are a priority for them. I think there are a few out there, they might say something about it. Okay. This is a very interesting insight. This is what you guys are saying. We plotted on a 2-dimensional graph. We said, either you are focusing on innovation or you're focusing on keeping the lights on. So different sectors showed proclivity towards one or the other. For example, transportation and logistics industry, automotive industry, media and entertainment industry, Technology industry said, we want to be high on innovation. Financial services said, we want 50-50. Keeping the lights on is equally important. At the same time, utilities also said the same thing. Innovation is also equally important, 50-50. But high on maintenance, which is keeping the lights on, was probably more for real estate, construction, pharma, life sciences, professional firms and services. This is where your Accentures and your Capgeminis and your Infosys and your say Cognizants, all of them lie out here. Wipros, these are the professionals. Interestingly, they are saying keep the lights on. Now this means that they have pretty much extracted a lot of juice out of IT deployments within themselves. And now they're saying that now we've reached a very, very good state of deployment. Now let's ensure that we keep the lights on. This is what they are saying. Chemicals industry is having a very similar point of view. Let's take some of the insights and let's go a little deeper. If you look at business continuity, which was one of the top priorities that got indicated, we note that automotive, chemicals industry, and even professional firms and services, so the likes of the Wipro, Infosys, they said that we want to see investments happening in BCP programs. You will see that close to 71% or 64%, the top guys, top spenders are on BCP are this segment. FS segment says that we've done a lot. We want to keep our BCP efforts tight. We want to keep testing, keep validating our BCP. But there are some industries like M&E which don't seem to be really bothered at this point of time, or health. Even health sciences surprisingly is not really so much focused on BCP. However, you have to note this, that 2/3 respondents from utility sector cite an existence of a continuously validated BCP. This is very, very insightful. We would be very surprised to know. Utilities means your Reliance Energies or your Tata Powers or your your manufacturing or distribution companies. Which are the applications to look out for in FY 2012-13? Right on top is sitting your mobile application. And this is consistently coming out. Close to 59% people believe that mobile applications or mobility-based applications, again, something which IBM did mention earlier, most of you are saying that you're wanting to invest in mobility-based applications. Data warehousing, analytics, business intelligence is the number 2 priority which is sitting out. Sanjay, are you listening? BPC, or budgeting, planning and consolidation, that seems to be the third area of focus. Again, very closely related to analytics. Because you're talking about planning, you're talking about controlling, you're talking about budgets, actuals. And this is one area where most organizations have implemented ERP solutions. Do you note that only 19%, 19, are actually saying ERP implementations? So guess where SAP will focus on? SAP will focus on selling BPC, SAP will focus on selling business analytics, the SAP will focus on probably even selling CRM, because CRM seems to be number 4. Process workflows is sitting out there. So clearly, the days of implementing a core ERP seem to be pretty much over. The core skills that probably also will be demanded is analytic skills, mobility skills, BPC skills or CRM skills. Let's talk about what is cloud. You've been hearing a lot about cloud, but cloud adoption seems to be very, very poor in this country. Everybody talks about the cloud, but let's see what the reality is. So it's on the rise. Progress is very slow. Okay. SaaS, particularly, you can talk about email or CRM. Some of those things are picking up, but core enterprise applications, they're still not. People are not willing to move their applications to the cloud. So it's contrary to the hype. This is the reality which is sitting out here. Public cloud finds favor with only 15% of the participants. So you are actually talking about private cloud hosted in-house. Yes, people are saying yes. So which means, let me virtualize, let me consolidate my IT systems, let me set up a virtual cloud within my enterprise. Yes. What is the biggest deterrent for moving to cloud? The biggest deterrent seems to be data privacy and security.